What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Kamaru has responded to Tyron Woodley's recent comments, and he didn't hold back. Earlier, Woodley dismissed Dana White's claim that Kamaru is the greatest welterweight of all time. Woodley argued that he had the realest and toughest route in the division, reminding everyone that he beat top-level opponents like Demian Maia, Robbie Lawler, and Wonderboy. He also claimed that Kamaru was always the one who kissed the most, taking every fight possible, just to stay in Dana's good graces. According to Woodley, that's what helped Kamaru rise, not being the true greatest in the division. Naturally, Kamaru didn't agree and chose to address it directly on his Pound for Pound podcast. He said he's actually been a longtime fan of Woodley, but these recent comments and behavior have made it harder and harder for him to continue feeling that way. He questioned why Woodley seemed so bitter and pointed out that he personally had never said anything negative about him publicly. Kamaru sounded genuinely confused, asking what he had even done to deserve this kind of energy. He mentioned that Woodley has criticized him, his team, and even their manager, and that none of it makes sense to him. He said it's not his fault they didn't make the same choices Woodley did, which ultimately led to where Woodley is now. He added that it's disappointing to see someone he once admired act this way, especially after he used to praise Woodley for everything he accomplished. The debate over who the real welterweight GOAT is continues, and clearly not everyone is on the same page. Just recently, on the Ariel Helwani show, Carlos Prates said he believes Kamaru is the true GOAT, but Ariel immediately disagreed, shutting that argument down on the spot and saying that Georges St-Pierre still holds that crown. Carlos tried defending his take, saying he personally preferred Kamaru, but Ariel wasn't having it, reminding him that GSP's legacy still sits at the top of the division. Even with all these mixed opinions, Kamaru remains focused and unfazed, standing firm in his belief in what he's accomplished. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Du Plessis is back in the headlines after making it very clear who he wants next on his road back to the middleweight title. After losing his belt in a tough outing against Khamzat, a fight where he admitted things simply didn't go his way, Du Plessis isn't looking for any detours or distractions. He wants a direct path back to UFC gold, and in his mind, that journey starts with Brendan Allen. Coming off a strong win streak, Allen has been building momentum, but Du Plessis believes he's the perfect opponent to smash through on his climb back to the top. During his recent interview, Du Plessis didn't hold back. He said he would absolutely love to smash Brendan's face in, and made it clear that the motivation isn't personal, but strategic. For him, this isn't about hype, and it isn't about money. It's all about getting closer to reclaiming the belt he lost. He explained that when you're the champion, you choose opponents based on who the best available guy is. And even though he's no longer holding the belt, he's maintaining that same championship mindset. He wants the toughest and most meaningful fight available, the one that makes the most sense in terms of rankings and progression. He said that he isn't interested in taking fights just for attention or building noise around his name. Instead, he wants the matchup that pushes him directly toward a title shot as fast as possible. Fans heard him say that a 2-fight win streak doesn't automatically justify calling out former champions. But he doesn't care who it is, as long as that fight moves him closer to the title. If the UFC believes Brendan Allen is the right option, he's all for it. If they believe someone else makes more sense, he's ready for that too. At the end of the day, Du Plessis is focused on one thing, and that's getting his belt back. Every decision he makes from now on is intentional, designed to get him back into the championship picture. Whether it's Allen or someone else, he's prepared to fight whoever brings him closest to reclaiming the middleweight crown. Moving on to another news. Merab opened up during his media day interview about a situation that clearly didn't sit well with him. He explained that after one of his previous fights, a fighter and that fighter's manager called him and asked him not to post any pictures from their matchup. According to Merab, the request felt unnecessary and fake, and it went completely against the way he believes the sport should be promoted. He said one guy, someone he described as spoiled, called him after the fight and said, "Oh, Merab, don't post a picture of me. We were just building the fight." Hearing that made Merab question why the fighter behaved that way in the first place. He didn't understand the point of fabricating tension or trying to create artificial drama when the competition itself already tells the story. It didn't end with just the fighter though. Merab mentioned that another person connected to him, maybe an assistant or someone in his circle, also reached out with the same message. That only added to Merab's frustration. He explained that MMA fans will tune in regardless, as long as the fights are good, and he believes fighters shouldn't need to disrespect each other just to create buzz. Trash talk, to him, should only come naturally if there's a real reason behind it. Otherwise, it just feels forced and meaningless. Merab emphasized that he's always been a genuine person. He likes to joke, he likes to have fun, but he never wants to cross into territory that feels fake or disrespectful. He said whatever happened between him and that opponent was real, and he stands by that. He doesn't believe in manufacturing beef simply for attention. While many fans online have speculated that the unnamed fighter and manager might be Umar and Ali Abdelaziz, Merab never mentioned any names, choosing instead to focus on the principle of authenticity rather than calling anyone out directly. Moving on to another news. Paulo Costa might be stepping back into the octagon sooner than expected, as he posted on Twitter that he's fighting Roman Dolidze in February. Costa, who's coming off a unanimous decision win over Roman Kopylov, shared a message that immediately caught the attention of fans. He wrote, "There's a different energy in this drink." He went on to say that from the streets of Brazil to the global stage of the octagon, he's been able to share his gifts with the world, and now it's time to return the favor. He ended the post with a direct call-out. Roman Dolidze, February. See you. As for Dolidze, he's coming off a loss to Anthony Hernandez and currently doesn't have a fight booked, which makes this matchup feel realistic. Stylistically, it's an interesting clash. Costa is known for his pressure, power, and physicality, while Dolidze brings a dangerous mix of grappling and unorthodox striking. Both men are looking to build momentum, and a February meeting would give the middleweight division an early shakeup in the new year. Costa's tweet has already sparked plenty of reaction, with fans wondering whether this is an official announcement or just Costa being Costa. Still, given the timelines and the fact that both fighters are available, this could genuinely be the next move. For now, the buzz continues to grow as the middleweight picture keeps shifting. Moving on to another news, Plesis has shared his honest thoughts about the current state of certain UFC fights, especially those dominated by heavy wrestling. While looking back at his own matchup with Khamzat and JDM's recent fight with Islam, he admitted that although those performances were dominant, they weren't exactly the most entertaining for fans to watch. He pointed out that long stretches of control time, sometimes hitting the 20-minute mark, can take the excitement out of a fight, even when the dominance is undeniable. Plesis didn't shy away from critiquing his own experience either. He said that in his fight with Khamzat, the constant pressure and being pinned to the ground for long stretches made the entire experience surprisingly dull, even though he was the one in the cage. He explained that this style of fighting, where athletes are able to hold opponents down for extended periods, may be effective, but it doesn't always translate into the kind of action fans hope to see. As he put it, he actually got bored while participating in the fight, which says a lot about how it must have felt for the audience watching at home. He also made an important point about how people sometimes misunderstand MMA. Many expect non-stop striking exchanges, but Plesis reminded everyone that striking alone is not what defines the sport. MMA includes a wide range of disciplines, and wrestling plays a major part in it. Still, that doesn't change the fact that certain styles can feel slow, especially when the action stalls on the ground without much advancement. With all of that said, Plesis remains focused on his future and the matchups being discussed around him. If he ends up fighting Brendan Allen next, it would be a completely different kind of fight stylistically, offering him the chance to step back into a more dynamic and engaging matchup as he continues working his way toward another title opportunity. Moving on to another news. Benil Dariush is now openly discussing a possible move up to welterweight, and it seems like he's taking the idea more seriously than ever. In a recent interview with Submission Radio, Benil explained that he's been thinking about switching divisions for a while, and instead of giving vague answers about his future, he decided to gather some real data to see if the jump to 170 makes sense. He revealed that he recently went through a full round of testing, including a DEXA scan, which breaks down body composition with precision. At the time of the scan, he weighed around 185 to 186 pounds at roughly 10% body fat. That means he has about 19 pounds of fat to lose, and the rest is lean mass that would need to be maintained if he were to make a healthy transition. After getting those results, he reached out to the UFC to take the next step. Benil said he's heading to the UFC's Performance Institute this week for additional testing. The goal is to make sure he can safely and effectively move up while keeping his performance intact. He doesn't want to go into a new division guessing. He wants to know exactly what his body can handle. It's a big shift for a longtime lightweight contender, And the possibility of seeing Benil compete at welterweight adds an interesting wrinkle to the division. He's known for his durability, his gritty style, and his high fight IQ, and a move to 170 would bring a fresh dynamic to his career. Moving on to another news, Joshua Van has sent a clear warning to Alexandre Pantoja ahead of their flyweight title fight this weekend at UFC 323. Van is on the verge of becoming the first UFC champion born in the 2000s, and the hype around him continues to grow. Fans have been praising his activity level, pointing out that he's had an incredible 21 fights in the past 5 years, averaging around 5 fights per year. That level of consistency and hunger has turned him into one of the most active fighters on the roster. And now that he's finally getting his title shot, he wants everyone to know he didn't grind this hard just to fall short now. During media day, Van made it clear that he's coming for the belt and plans to take it from one of the greatest flyweights the division has ever seen. He said that the mentality he carried in his earlier career, the one where losing was okay because it was part of the journey, doesn't apply anymore. This time, he's chasing greatness. He's here to win. He's here to become champion, and he believes this is his moment. Van also gave major respect to Pantoja, saying he genuinely believes Pantoja is the flyweight GOAT, even over Demetrius Johnson. He explained that he started watching the UFC after 2017, so he never really saw prime Mighty Mouse. For him, Pantoja was the guy at the top when he made his debut, the champion he kept seeing dominate, and that shaped his entire perspective. Van said this matchup is the rising contender versus the established great, and he's honored to be stepping into that moment. On the other side, Pantoja also spoke at Media Day and revealed that he's chasing something even bigger than another title defense. He wants the #1 pound-for-pound spot in the UFC. He acknowledged how tough that goal is, especially with elite champions like Islam, Khamzat, Merab, Duplessis, Ilya, RDR, Pereira, and Volk all competing for the same position. Pantoja said this era is packed with greatness, which makes climbing to #1 incredibly difficult, but also incredibly meaningful. Still, he's grateful to even be mentioned alongside fighters he described as unstoppable and complete. He said being part of this group is special, but on Saturday night, he plans to prove he's the best among them. UFC updates ahead. Moving on to another news, we've got some unfortunate updates surrounding UFC 324, as a major fight has just fallen apart. Late last night, Shirag MMA revealed that the highly anticipated matchup between Rose Namajunas and Alexa Grasso had officially been canceled. According to the report, Grasso pulled out of the fight, and as of this recording, no reason has been confirmed. The situation caught fans off guard, especially considering the significance of the bout, but the UFC wasted no time finding a replacement, and the choice surprised just about everyone. Rose Namajunas will now face Natalya Silva at UFC 324, a matchup that instantly shifts the narrative of the event. This announcement was unexpected, particularly because Valentina Shevchenko had recently expressed interest in fighting Silva next. However, it seems Silva wanted to stay active and wasn't interested in sitting on the sidelines, so she stepped up for the opportunity. For anyone unfamiliar with Silva's work, she's been on an incredible run. She's currently riding a 7-0 streak in the UFC, and her most recent win came against none other than Alexa Grasso, the same fighter who just pulled out of this event. Silva broke the news herself during an interview with Shirag MMA, giving fans a direct look into how quickly things unfolded. She explained that the UFC contacted her with an update regarding Valentina, saying she wouldn't be ready for January. Because of that, the promotion wanted Silva to take one more fight, and that fight would take place on January 24th against Rose Namajunas. She admitted she wasn't sure what happened with Grasso, but she made it clear that if she wants to become UFC champion, she must be willing to accept any challenge placed in front of her. She repeated that she still doesn't know why Grasso withdrew, but she promises she'll be ready when the time comes. When discussing the matchup itself, Silva showed a lot of respect for Rose. She described Rose Namajunas as a very tough opponent with excellent footwork. She also pointed out that whenever Rose isn't comfortable in the striking exchanges, she mixes in strong takedowns to change the rhythm of the fight. Silva said that she and her team have already begun studying Rose's tendencies and are working toward building a game plan designed to secure the win. Moving on to another news, Merab is sharing his side of the ongoing feud with Umar Nurmagomedov, and the tension between them is clearly far from fading. Many fans predicted it was only a matter of time before Merab and Umar squared off in a rematch, especially after their first fight back in January, where Merab walked away with a hard-earned decision win. Leading up to that bout, the two exchanged plenty of verbal shots online and in interviews. and things have only intensified since UFC 311. Now, as Merab prepares for his rematch with Petr Yan at UFC 323, he broke down exactly why he has issues with Umar during an appearance on the Pound for Pound podcast. Merab explained that the biggest problem began when Umar called him a fake champion. He said he isn't even sure if those tweets were coming from Umar himself or from one of his assistants, but what bothered him most was the disrespect behind it. Merab made it clear that he doesn't speak perfect English, but whenever he posts something, even if his assistant translates, the words are his. He said he would never let a manager, a friend, or even a brother speak for him online, especially not to fire shots that aren't his own. To him, a man should stand behind his own voice. The bantamweight champ continued, saying that being called a fake champion crossed a line. He admitted that in the fight game, anything can happen and one punch can change everything, but he believes he earned every bit of his position. He trained, he won, and he became champion, and he feels Umar should at least respect that. Merab says, if you're going to fight for a title and you eventually become champion, you wouldn't want people calling the former champion undeserving. You'd want that person to be respected because it validates your own victory. That's what irritated him most, the lack of respect. Now, you'd think tensions might cool off if they eventually meet again in a rematch, especially since many rivalries settle after the final bell. But before any of that can even be considered, a few things need to fall into place. First, Merab has to get past Petr Yan next weekend, a fight with its own history and intensity. And on top of that, it was recently announced that Umar will face Deiveson Figueiredo at UFC 324. Only after both men handle their business could the path open for the rematch fans have been calling for.